In our last video, we introduced the idea that the quantum mechanical model is a model which is going to predict probabilities of finding electrons in certain three-dimensional spaces surrounding the nucleus. Those three-dimensional spaces were called orbitals. This model is not saying the electrons are actually in these orbitals. They are just places where you have a high probability of finding the electrons. In order to fully describe the three-dimensional orbitals, it takes four numbers. Let's take a look at an analogy now to give you an idea of what these four numbers are really doing regarding the atom and finding electrons in the atom. Again, four numbers. A quantum number set is made up of four numbers. Many people like to say these numbers are like an address for an electron. And an address doesn't mean that somebody is occupying the house at a particular time, but it is a good analogy anyway. Quantum numbers are like an address. And if you think about it, if you live in a city somewhere, like in Kettering, you would only really need four numbers to tell you where somebody's house was. Especially if there were a limit to the number of streets in an atom. Bohr found out that there were 7 orbits in an atom. Well, he was right in a sense. There are 7 orbits, but those orbits are actually three-dimensional, not flat orbits. So there are 7 streets in an atom. So the first number is telling you what street in an atom an electron might be on. That's kind of what it does. And that street is really what energy level it is on. So the first quantum number really is a carryover from Bohr's model. Bohr's model went 1 to 7. There were 7 levels. The spectroscopists used letters, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Some people represent these as E1, E2, E3, E4. It doesn't matter. There were 7 energy levels, sometimes called 7 shells in an atom. When you use the K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, that's really what reference to the days where they called them shells. So the first quantum number is telling you what energy level an electron might be on, and that's the same as a street. The second quantum number is going to tell you what type of house an electron would be occupying. In other words, it's telling you the shape of the house. And there are limits to the shapes of houses. There are only certain styles or types of houses that are found in an atom. A given street has the same number of types of houses as the street number. So we've got an example right here. Down here we've got an example of the address analogy. And this is an address analogy for 4th Street in Adamville. So we're on 4th Street. It turns out that on 4th Street there's 4 types of houses. On 3rd Street there's 3 types of houses. 2nd Street there's 2 types of houses. 1st Street 1 type of house. 5th Street could have 5. 6th Street could have 6. 7th Street could have 7 types of houses. So what are the types of houses on 4th Street? We've got this type of house. That's 1. We've got 3 of this type of house, but that's the 2nd type of house. We've got 5 of this type of house. That's our 3rd type of house. And we've got 7 of these types of houses. That's our 4th type of house. So when you know what street you're on, you know how many house types there are. 4th Street has 4. The second number is the code for which house type you're in. So in this address, we have the second number giving you a code. If the second number is a 0, you're in this type of house. If the second number is a 1, you're in this type of house. If the second number is a 2, you're in this type of house. If the second number is a 3, you're in this type of house. So the second number is a code for the type of house you are in. The second number also can be used to figure out how many of those houses are on there, on the street. So how does that work? Well, if the second number is a 0, there's only 1 type of house there. If the second number is a 1, there's 3 types of houses. If the second number is a 2, there's 5 types of houses. If the second number is a 3, there's 7 types of houses. How does this code work? If you take the number 2 times the, as I was saying, if you take 2 times the second number and add 1 to it, it's going to tell you the number of the houses that you'll have of that type. The second number is abbreviated by the letter L. We already mentioned that the first number is actually abbreviated by the letter N. The first number. The first number puts you on the street. That's the street number, and the street's the energy level. The second number puts you in a house type, but the second number will also tell you how many houses of that type are on the street. So when the second number is a 0, you're in this house. How do I know there's only one house of that type on there? The second number is a 0. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. When the second number is a 1, I know there's 3 houses of that type. Why? 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3. When the second number is a 2, I know there's 5 houses of that type. So the second number 2 means I'm in this house type. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. The number 3 means I'm in this house type, and there are 7 of them. How do I know there's 7 of them? 2 times 3 plus 1, that's 7 of them. That's the way it works. So how many houses total are there on 4th Street? 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 5 is 9, plus 7 is 16. It also happens to be the street number. It also happens to be the street number squared. Each house can only hold a maximum of 2 occupants. You remember earlier we alluded to the fact that if you take the energy level number and square it times 2, that will tell you how many electrons can be on that level. Here's why it works. This 4th level has 4 house types. 1 of these, 3 of these, 5 of these, 7 of these. That adds up to 16. If you take the street number squared or the energy level number squared, that tells you how many houses there are on that street. Each house holds 2. 2 times the street number squared is 32. The street number is 4. 4 squared is 16 times 2. There's 32 electrons that could be on 4th Street. What are these houses really called? These houses are the actual orbitals. Each of these different house types actually have different shapes, as you can see here. The shape code for this house is 0. When L is 0, they give it the letter S. Spectroscopists love to use letters. Spectroscopists call the L equals 0 the S orbital. There's one orbital that can be there. So when you're looking at all the houses together, it's called a sublevel. All the houses of a certain type together are a sublevel. So the S sublevel has one house. When the second number is a 1, the spectroscopists call it the P orbital. There are 3 P orbitals making up the P sublevel. When the second number is 2, spectroscopists like to use the letter D for that. When the second number is a 2, they like to use the letter D. Once again, there's 5 D orbitals. These 5 D orbitals make up the D sublevel. There are 7 orbitals that can have a possible second number of 3. So there are 7 houses or orbitals that can have a second number of 3. Those 7 together are called the F sublevel, and each house is an F orbital. So houses are like orbitals. This street has 4 types of houses on it. So there are 4 sublevels. Streets can also be called shells. Spectroscopists call them shells. So you could say there's 4 subshells. So each street is actually broken into little parts. This is what Bohr didn't know. Bohr thought every level was the same all the way around. It's not. He thought the first level was the same everywhere. The second level, same. Third level was the same all the way around. It's not. The third level actually has 3 parts to it. The fourth level has 4 parts to it. Bohr did not know levels had parts called sublevels. So the first number puts you on a street. In this case, we're on 4th Street. The second number puts you in a part of the street called a sublevel. The part of the street is always made up of the same types of houses. Each of the houses are orbitals, but these are all different. The S orbital making up the S sublevel has this shape. The P orbital, the P houses, have these shapes, and there's 3 of them with the same shape making up that part of the street. There's 5 orbitals with this shape making up the D part of the street, the D sublevel part. How do I know I'm on the D part of the street? My second number and my address would be a 2. So if I have a 4 for the first number, I know I'm on 4th Street. If there's a 2 for the second number, I'm looking on the D part of the street. I know I'm in this type of house. But how can we tell the different types of houses? Which of the houses of that type are you in? That's what the third number does. First number puts you in a street. The second number puts you in the part of the street. The third number puts you in the actual house on that part of the street. Here's how the third number works. The first house is given a 0 for the third number. So if you see a 4 for the first number, a 0 for the second number, I know I'm in this house type. But there's only one house type there, so I only need one number to tell me which house I'm in. So a 400, I know I'm in this house. Here there's 3 houses, so I need 3 numbers to distinguish those. So they give the middle house a 0, this one is a 1, and this one's a -1. It's numbered like a number line. So if I see a 410, I know it's this house. If I see a 41 -1, I know the electrons in that house. If I see it's a 411, I know the electrons in that house. Here there's 5 houses, so I need 5 numbers to differentiate between them. The middle house gets a 0. The middle orbital is always a 0. Every sublevel has a 0. Now I'm going to number it like a number line. -1, -2, 1, 2. So to the right I'm going up, to the left I'm going down. So if I have a 4, 2, -2, a 4, 2, -2, I know I'm in this house. A 4, 2, -1, I know I'm in this house, etc., etc. Where are these numbers really coming from? If you look at the second number, the third number is minus the second number to positive the second number. This number's a 0. That's a 0. This number's a 1. It's -1 to 1. This number's a 2. It's -2 to 2. This number's a 3. It's -3 to +3. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. That's how they would number it. So the first number puts you on a street. The second number puts you on a part of the street called a sublevel. And when you're on the part of the street, you know what the house shape is going to be. The second number is a code for the shape of the house. The third number puts you in the actual house on an orbital. As we mentioned earlier, each house can only have 2 occupants. So the fourth number tells you which occupant it is. It turns out electrons spin as they move. They can spin clockwise. That's a +½ spin. They can spin counterclockwise. That's a -½ spin. Since only 2 electrons can be in the house, we only need 2 possible numbers for the fourth. And that's a +½ or a -½. So if I have a 4 for the first number and a 3 for the second number, I know I'm on this part of the street. If I have a 0 for the third number, I know I'm in this house. In this house are 2 electrons. If it's a +½ it's the electron spinning clockwise. If it's a -½ it's the resident spinning counterclockwise. That's the address analogy for quantum numbers. In our next video, we're going to take a closer look at what the quantum numbers are and what they're called.